Welcome back to Murder Therapy with Doll Talk and Cousin Ashley.
Hello.
I know. So I apologize that we didn't have an episode last week.
It's all her fault.
My car troubles that we had were just
horrendous.
It was ridiculous.
It was bad, you guys.
Yes. It was one of those, like, Nathan reminded me so much of Ryan last week. That is...
She messaged me, you guys, and she told me that. She's like, I think I saw a little of Ryan come out Nathan on Friday, and I was like, oh God. I did. My husband, I love him to death, but he's got a temper.
He does. My husband can be very short fused. Okay,
there's so much alike.
He's a Scorpio, and I'm a Taurus. Technically, we shouldn't be compatible, but we are. But
Ryan's an Aquarius.
Two of the most stubborn signs. Okay, and we're together. But anywho, so my car started doing this really weird thing where it would gradually miss periodically, if that makes sense. It didn't do it all the time. Of course, I know nothing about vehicles. I know you put a key in it and you go, and occasionally you have to put gas in it.
You gotta change your oil. I know that. I don't know a lot about cars at all. I don't know how to change.
She ran out of gas one time. But anywho. Okay, so anywho.
With her and Nathan in the car. Oh my gosh.
Yes. But I tell her, not her, sorry, I tell Nathan, I'm like, I'm worried my transmission. So he takes it driving and he's like, that's not your transmission, honey. He's like, but we need to get it looked at. So we make an appointment. I take a whole day off from work. It costs I'm not even going to go into the cost, okay? About how much it costs.
Yeah, we know how cars are. Yeah.
Yes. So they're like, we changed the coils. Apparently there's more than one, so I've learned. But anywho, I don't know. Again, I know nothing about vehicles. So they change a coil. They change all the spark plugs. I had to get an oil change. Cool. Nathan takes me. We pick my car up. I go to get Cora. It's worse. Whatever did, they made it worse. That's usually not what happens when you take your car to the car doctor, right? The car doctor makes it better. And my car was sicker. So I was like, dear Jesus. So I call Nathan. I'm like, this is not resolved. Okay. So he calls the garage. They're like, we'll get her in next Friday. Okay. Cool. Whatever. I think I can make it work. No. Then my check engine light comes on. I forgot to mention that had not happened beforehand. It just was a little putter here and there, and then it turned into something awful, and then the check engine light came on, and I'm like,
oh shit.
Yes. So I call Nathan, and he's like, all right, I'm going to call them. At this point, it's Wednesday. Okay. So they're like, go ahead. Can she have it in? We'll get it in, before Friday. We'll move some things around. So I'm like, well, I can leave work, but I don't want to take another day off because we have vacation coming up in July, right?
And I gotta pay you fuckers.
Yes, and Ashley is coming in. She's coming to Virginia, so I'm saving time for things. So okay, cool. So I'm like, we're just gonna have to rent a car. Cool. So then we take the car, drop it off. I rent a car. The game plan is I'm going to return the rental on Friday.
Oh God.
This is so. Yes, I know. They get my car back to me. Okay. They think that they've discovered the issue. I pay them more money. Okay. On Friday, the car completely breaks down on Nathan.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Yes. So at this point, he's fuming because Cora was not feeling well.
Oh.
She's in the back. He's taking her to the doctor, and he calls me at work. And he's like, don't return the effing rental. And he's like, he is so mad. And he's like, I called them and I'm so angry. And he's telling me all the things he said. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go. So I go across the hall to my boss and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I have to go before my husband kills the garage person. I have to go. So yeah, that was a whole week of events. Knock on wood, my car's okay now, but holy hell.
Yeah, car trouble is rough. We won't talk about how the car that I'm still making payments on hasn't been driven by me in a year. So.
Oh.
And it's just, we fix one problem and it's another one. Fix one problem and it's another one. It's terrible.
Car repairs are so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But but we still have the 1988 Honda Accord that I drove in high school. And that thing runs like a champ. Who would have ever knew, like, that'd be my most reliable vehicle I have right
Dude, that reminds... Have you seen Employee of the Month?
Yeah.
With Dax Shepard, that reminds me. He's like, that's an... I forget the year, but he's like, that's an 84 Honda.
That's a classic. Yeah. I need to just write Honda. Like, look what you did, Honda. Like, you did this... I mean, this car has been through so much.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Well, yeah, I thought that the car, that was the Honda that had hit the cow in the middle of the night. I didn't do that. Dad did that. But that was another Honda that we had. But anywho, we're not here to talk about the car.
Tell us you live in the middle of nowhere without telling us you live in the middle of nowhere.
I do.
I think that's the car that hit the cow.
Well, it was a black cow. Okay, it was solid black in the middle of the night. And when Dad hit it, I mean, he's lucky he's alive. Like, I mean,
Uncle Bill hit it?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Going to work. And the guy that owned the cow was like, "Are you sure you hit it in the road?" And Dad's like, "Well, I wasn't driving through your cow pasture. Like, what the hell?" Yeah. Tell me you live in the country without telling me you live in the country. Are you sure you hit that cow in the road? Well, I wasn't driving through your cow pasture, sir. But yeah. Yeah. So we're not here to talk about car trouble.
Or cows.
Instead, what are we here to talk about, Ashley?
Well, it's called the Reddit murders. And are we surprised that I don't know anything about it?
I thought you was going to do your murder.
Oh, I haven't done that in so long. I'm so sorry, you guys. Murder.
There we go. Now I got it for you. Okay, yeah. So
it's beautiful and sunny out, and we're going to talk about murder.
Yes, it's beautiful outside, and we're going to talk about murder. Yes. So you love a good love triangle.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Is this one? Is this a love triangle?
This is a love triangle.
Okay? I'm so excited. Okay, I'm here for it. Sorry, I'm watching the time.
I will do the trigger warning at the end, okay? Because this is kind of how this plays out. But because I don't want to give any details as to giving it away to you. I want to get your reaction.
Oh God, I'm so excited, you guys.
The real time. No, she loves love triangles.
I do. They're juicy, you guys. They're so juicy.
Like yes. Well, this one really is. And the fact that you don't know about this baffles. I shouldn't be surprised, but why I'm surprised is this happened in Indiana.
Well, to be truthfully honest, I can see the filter and Jody can't. And like, just so you guys know, when I look away from screen, I've got multiple control panels controlling this recording session. So I just watch the clock time down, the recording to make sure it's still recording, the volumes, all that good stuff. But I can see the filter before Jody can. And I'm not going to lie, he looks a little young, but he's good looking.
Oh, the guy? Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, so
I should have showed you.
I hope before, no, you're good. I hope it's the right guy. But anywho,
oh God,
yeah. So it's okay. No, because if you Google Reddit murders, and there's a reason why it's called this, which we'll get into, it's gonna pull some other things.
Oh,
but that's okay. Yes. But anywho, so our story, we're gonna start off with Brandy Worley. Okay. And she was born on November the 10th, 1986. There's not a lot of information about like her upbringing or her parents, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now, her parents are dicks. That's about the only thing I can tell you. They're total assholes. And don't worry, we'll talk about their assholiness a little later on. Okay.
It's a word.
I did read that Yes, it assholiness, yeah. I did read that she may potentially have a younger sister. I don't know her name. Honestly, I don't know her parents' names. I just know they're assholes. But anywho, she attended Crosford High School, and then she enrolled in Indiana State University. She got a degree in elementary education. Apparently, she had been dating Jason Worley since the age of 15. They were high school sweethearts. They ended up getting engaged. They were engaged for about 2 years, and then they ended up marrying one another in August of 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So her name is her married name. Worley?
Yeah, Brandy Worley. I don't need, like, well, don't worry. You're going to learn. Brandy's a twat, so I really don't care about what her maiden name is because she's just a twat. So, yeah. And you're about to see all that. But anywho, so they ended up relocating to Darlington, which is like right outside, I guess, Indianapolis or whatever. I don't know if you've heard of that.
It sounds familiar. We're about 2 hours west of Indy. I'm sorry, east. God bless it. I'm done. Don't let me...
No, you're good.
Don't let me give directions, you guys. I'm terrible.
Yeah, and she doesn't remember to fill up the gas tank. But anyway.
No, we will run out of gas on a road trip, you guys.
We will run out of gas on a road trip. It is true. Anywho, so they ended up... Brandy ended up pregnant like within her first year of getting married to Jason with their firstborn, Tyler Daniel Clinton Worley. Okay. Once he was born, he was actually a preemie, so he had a lot of medical issues. Okay. Sure. And he had to be hospitalized. You know, he was pretty sick. He made it though, which is great.
Yay.
But they immediately like kind of put a vow with one another that no matter what was going on, they will always put their children first. Okay, they're always going to put the kids first, like no matter what's going on. Right, yeah. As a normal parent should, right? So they ended up having their second child, Charlie, 4 years later. Brandy ended up leaving her job as a teacher after the kids were born to be like a stay-at-home mom because Jason worked as a software engineer and he made a decent amount of money doing so. So she was a stay-at-home mom. They got along with everybody in the neighborhood. They were kind of like that neighbor that had all the cookouts and people would come over and they were like a picture-perfect family.
Cute.
Yes, it was. It was so really cute. Yeah. So the children were described as just like super wonderful kids. Okay. That Charlie, who was 3 when our story's taking place, okay, she was kind of described as a little diva. She never would leave the house without a big bow in her hair.
Oh, Charlie's a girl.
Charlie's a girl.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlie's a girl and okay. Tyler's a boy. But she just got enrolled in preschool. She loved Bible school. Okay. Yes, and she loved to dance, and she loved. I guess she did like a basketball camp kind of thing. Now Tyler was 7 at the time that our story is going to be taking place. And they said he was like the most friendly kid that you would ever meet, that he could go in a room full of strangers. And if there was a room full of 30 some people, he's going to come out with 30 some friends. Like he just was super friendly,
super social.
He was really ambitious and he wanted to follow his dad's footsteps and become a software engineer as well.
I'm just going to say that's how I was as a child. And I feel like the older I've gotten, it's just died.
Aw. Yeah. Well,
I don't like talking to people. I do. If you talk to me, I'm super, super friendly. My anxiety and like my shyness has kicked in more as an adult, but it's also, I feel like working customer service for as long as I have has just killed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it could do it. But of course, I think like kids, like they look up to their parents. They, they just want to follow those footsteps. Cute. Yeah.
So he was an engineer?
Well, he was a software engineer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're starting off in 2015. Okay.
Okay.
Brandy and Jason, again, they're happy. Everyone sees that they're happy. They get along with everybody. Their kids are great kids. All is well. And it seems like that they have the perfect relationship. However, we know that behind closed doors, things can be completely different.
Always.
Yes.
Everything's always a show, a facade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Boy, did Brandy put on a facade. So, Jason was working a lot of hours during this time. He had been given like this unique project at his job. Okay. And he was working 60 plus hours a week. Now, mind you, Brandy is a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. So, I mean, he was really busy. And I mean, obviously, I'm sure he was tired.
Oh, yeah.
And he would get stressed, and he kind of was a little bit short-fused, and he just, obviously, it caused some tension in the home. But Brandy explains that during this time, it made her feel lonely because he wasn't at home as much.
Definitely could see that. Yeah.
Can too. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like you left your job to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of like, but yeah.
Which I'm not knocking stay-at-home moms, but it's like 3 jobs in itself. But you just, if you're going to go that route, make sure you have something as balance, because being with kids all the time, you need communication with other adults, you need time to yourself as well, so make sure you have that stuff prepared so you just balance yourself. Yeah.
Well, Jason, he says that he recognized that the fact that he was having to do all this extra work and overtime and stuff was kind of putting a strain on the relationship. He was aware of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like he was completely avoiding that. You know what I mean? He did have some insight, but he also noticed that Brandy was starting to act a little odd. A little strange.
Yikes.
And the first sign that he noticed was that she had a password on her cell phone, and that's not something that she had ever had before. And he just thought that was odd. Mm-hmm. She's not one. Not that they really went through each other's phones or anything, but in his mind, it was like, why did you do that? Like, what?
It wasn't the password, I'm guessing. It's the fact of the sudden change that she didn't have one and now she does.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, Ryan and I, we never go through each other's stuff. We both have passwords on our phones, and it's simply, we both know the passwords. Ryan's is like a finger thing, and mine's a password. But it's simply, okay, we always talk about how ditzy I am. I leave my phone places. And
he does.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if any random person picks it up, they can't get into my phone. So
yeah, well, I think that security is important considering in today's time that we utilize cell phones for everything. Yeah. Your wallet, your whole life is in your phone.
Oh my gosh, if I don't have my phone, I feel naked, and it's so bad. But the sudden change of she never did that to now it's on there, that is sus for sure.
Yes, and I think that's why that's what was alarming, is that fact, like, why is this on here now when it's never been before? So, and he asked her about it. He's like, why do you have this like on your phone?
What are you doing?
And her response was that she was planning a surprise for him because Father's Day is in just a few days. Like, she's apparently planning this surprise, and she didn't want him to find out. So she put a password on her phone because she's doing this like plan for Father's Day or whatever. Okay. And he still kind of thought that was a little odd, but he went with it. Cool, whatever. Okay. So a whole week goes by after this conversation happens, okay? A whole week. And she approaches Jason and says, I've been planning this big surprise for you. Do you want to know what your gift is? And, he hadn't brought it up or anything. And he's like, sure. What's my gift? Okay. Like, what is this? And she says that she's been planning to build him a home office. Not only, and he didn't ask for this home office, okay? Apparently, it was going to be like a building, I guess, in the back, like kind of, like, I guess, people turn like
he's getting a he shed.
He's getting a he shed. I don't know, but anywho, he didn't ask for it, but it's being built by the neighbor. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
If she's incapable, like, not that she's incapable, but if it's not up her alley to do, I could see it.
Well, the neighbor, did work as a contractor. He was 51 years old. And he lived at home with his girlfriend and his son. Okay. He has a child. Jason also had noticed, though, that this particular neighbor him and Brandy had gotten kind of close.
Oh.
Like, yes, like it's a little odd, and he still doesn't think anything of it. Cool, whatever. But he did happen to notice, like at cookouts that they would have, that Brandy and him would always be very close and giggling and carrying on, and
flirting.
he just thought that it was, yeah, that it was a little odd. Now, obviously, the neighbor is going to come up a lot. Here's the thing, though. We don't know what the neighbor's actual name was. We have no idea. And it's going to get confusing because the girlfriend is also in this too. So we're going to call
the neighbor's girlfriend?
Joe. Yes, the neighbor's girlfriend. Okay. Yeah. So their names, I've never been able to find it. I've tried and tried and tried.
Okay.
But we're going to call the neighbor Joe. I'm not saying that that's what his name was. I don't know. But in this episode, he's Joe. Okay.
I don't know if you've seen You or not, but one of his names was Joe. And he was the neighbor.
Oh, God. Should we pick another name?
Leave it Joe.
No, we're going to go with
perfect.
It's
perfect.
Joe. It's Joe.
It's
yeah,
Joe.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Jason noticed that she would just be kind of smiling at her phone all the time. Like she'd be, and she kept her phone near her at all times. So he's like, something's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but something's going on. So there's one day Brandy's gone to the restroom and she left her phone laying.
Oh, Brandy, you fucked up.
Yes, she puts her phone down and he grabs it and he's able to get into it. Okay, and he goes to the text messages
with the password on it.
Yes, he was able to get. He's a software engineer, Ash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Touché.
I remember that. He's like a software engineer, which comes in handy.
I guess.
Okay, it comes in handy. Yeah, but anywho, so he sees that there's a neighbor, like a text from Joe. Okay, well, it's not from Joe; it's to Joe. Again, I don't know that that's his name. I'm just going to reiterate that. But in today's episode, he's Joe, and there's only one message, just one message, and it's from Brandy to Joe, and it says, and I quote, "I am all covered in frosting. Do you want to lick it off?"
Oh my.
Yes.
There's no other messages?
No. And that's because Jason realizes that Brandy had installed software on her phone that after a certain amount of time, her phone would automatically delete messages.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, yeah. So he still, even though he has seen this and he's like, this is odd, I'm going to just kind of let it go. I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to do my thing. Okay. He's not going to say anything to her about it. Right. He's just going to kind of go and do his thing because we don't really have any proof that anything's going on right now. Other than, I think that's an odd thing to text your neighbor.
That's proof. I don't know what more you need, but okay.
I don't know. He still decides he's going to trust his wife and he's trying to move on. But
I wouldn't ask my neighbor to lick icing off me. That's weird. And it's even weirder because my neighbor is my dad. Give that a weird turn. Sorry, guys. My other neighbor, I wouldn't.
I should have named him Kenny.
No, that's weird. I took this in a weird direction, you guys. I'm sorry. God.
You did. Okay. So he's trying to move on, but Joe's still coming over all the time. And every time he's there, they're just like super chatty, and he's just, I'm sure all he could think about was, my body's covered in icing. Do you want to lick it off? I'm sure that's all that went through Jason's mind. So 2 months go by. We're in July by this point. His Father's Day gift was supposed to be the he shed in the backyard as an office. Newsflash, it's still not there. His present's slightly late, ma'am. But, yeah.
Did he confront her? Where's my shed, bitch?
Yeah, where's my fucking present, bitch? So, yeah, 2 months go by, and he still feels like something's going on. He looked apparently they did the shared Google accounts. I don't know if you guys do that. Me and Nathan have the
Like email?
Life 360 app.
Oh, yeah.
Where we can see where each other's at. And it's not because we don't trust one another. It's a safety precaution, especially given the fact I'm around patients all the time. Sometimes I have to be in a vehicle with a patient. Like, so it's a safety thing, but they would do the Google Maps thing. And so he's like, I'm going to check and see what she's doing. So he logs into the Google account and he noticed she would turn her GPS off for long periods of time. So there's lots of periods of time that that he can't see where she's at. So he knows at this point, like, something's going on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ryan
and I don't do the GPS thing, but I mean, you guys are best friends, the Perry, like, we know a lot of people as couples that do, and it's not to be nosy, it is just safety.
It's a safety precaution, especially in today's time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jason, again, he's at this point, he's like, something's up and I need to know what's going on. Okay. So he decides what he's going to do is get her phone again. He's an engineer. Remember that. Not just any engineer. He's a software engineer. He's really tech savvy. So he tells her, he's like, hey, Brandy, I need your phone. I need to update the antivirus software in it. Okay. And she's like, sure. So she just kind of hands it over. She doesn't think anything about it. No, this is awesome. Like, go Jason. This is so cool. So he did put the antivirus software on her phone, but what she didn't also know that he put on her phone was he put software that basically allowed him to see where Brandy was, as well as all text messages that was sent was also being delivered to Jason's phone.
I knew you were going to say that. He could see
everything, including her Snapchat. Like, I mean, he could see everything. And he does this and he gives it back. So the following day, Jason goes to work. Apparently, Jason's mom had texted Jason wanting to get the kids and spend the day with them. And he's like, sure, because he wants to know what Brandy's doing. So Brandy takes the kids to Jason's mom's. So that gives her a whole day to herself. And what do you know? She's texting Joe, trying to hang out with Joe. And of course, unfortunately, he couldn't hang out during the day, though, because he was at doing another job or something.
I was like, Jesus Christ, don't these people work? I know she doesn't, but Lord.
Yeah. Well, and mind you, Jason's at work watching all of this. Okay. Yeah. Like, he's seeing the text.
So he set her up. Trying. Like, hey, Mom, watch the kids so she can have a day to herself. Just to see what she would do.
Well, think it was actually conveniently his mom actually happened to contact him that day.
Okay.
And he, of course, was like, absolutely. Like, this will be a good opportunity so that I can see what's going on. And what do you know? Sure enough, she's trying to hang out with Joe. Of course, Joe had declined because Joe was apparently doing a job. He wasn't working on the damn office that he was supposed to be working on 2 months ago. But yeah, the he shed. But anywho, Jason's seeing all of this while he's at his job, trying to work. He's seeing that his wife is trying to text Joe and hang out with Joe.
Okay, and let's set the scene, because, like, my working mom, I mean, not even just my working moms, when you're trying to focus on something, like, if you're stay-at-home mom, you're cooking lunch for your kids, or they're being rambunctious and, like, trying to draw your focus, or you're working and you have, like, a crap ton of stuff to do. And we've all had that where we're fighting back and forth with our spouse, and it takes your full attention. So he probably can't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably not, but he's sitting there and he's remaining calm.
Yeah.
He returns home from work, and him and Brandy go and get the kids from his mom's, okay? They get back to the house, and Brandy informs him on the same day, okay, that she has arranged for their family, okay, the Worleys are going to go out with Joe and Joe's girlfriend and Joe's son to dinner.
Fun.
Yes.
Sorry, Jason.
And Jason can't be like, well, I don't want to do that because I know that you texted Joe about frosting all over your body, and I've been spying on you, trying to figure out why you would send him that. He can't tell him that, so he agrees to go.
Oh Lord, I would have just
and
said,
what do you
I don't
know?
feel good.
Yeah, I know. Jason, I know, like, poor Jason. Anyways, so they go, and what do you know? While they're at dinner, Brandy is just laughing it up and having a great time with Joe's girlfriend.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, they're just having the best time. So as if that's not enough.
Shiesty.
Like, you can't make this shit up. And I had to reread it, and I'm like, there's no way that this really happened. And it did. As if that's not enough. The girlfriend, Joe's girlfriend, looks at Brandy, and she's like, I really want to go see the new Magic Mike XXL. That's when that was in theaters. She's like, let's go. Do you want to go with me? And she's like, sure. So that means, okay, that Brandy and Joe's girlfriend are going to go watch Magic Mike, which means that Jason is going to have to hang out with Joe, and they're going to have to watch I know, look on your face. They're going to have to watch the kids. You get what I'm saying? Like,
that's awkward.
The look on your face.
No, yes. That's so uncomfortable. So, my inner hermit is just screaming for Jason right now. Like,
oh, but we haven't even got uncomfortable yet. Okay. This is just the beginning.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God.
So they go back to Jason's house. The girls are going to the movies. They're going to go watch Magic Mike, right? Can you imagine, like, Jason's sitting in this same room across from the man that's been texting his wife about frosting on her body. Oh, we don't know what
and he doesn't know, but you know,
and he doesn't know that right. It's like that episode Friends. Do you know what we know that we think you know that? Yeah, it was, yes. So the kids are upstairs playing video games, and I'm sure that Jason's like, I don't want to talk to this guy. Like, I don't have anything to say to this guy.
Could they just
I can't
go apart? Like, just because our girls are doing stuff doesn't mean we have to.
Well, I know, but I'm sure he's trying to keep up the facade, figure out what the hell's going on. Even though I think at this point we all kind of have an idea of what's going on, but you know what?
I have no idea.
So they are sitting there. I love it. She goes, I don't know what's going on. Why was she texting him about frosting on her body?
Was she baking a cake?
So, and she must have been really bad about spreading that frosting. I understand it can be a difficult task, but anywho, they both get their phones out. Okay, they're playing on their phones. And what do you know? Brandy starts texting Joe. And Jason is right across from Joe watching these messages come through on his phone because he downloaded that software, right?
The awkwardness.
Yes. Now, Brandy is texting Joe all the sex acts that she would love to perform on him.
While at dinner?
No, they're at the movies. She's supposed to be watching Magic Mike.
Oh, okay. They're already separated. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they're separated. She's at the movies. The guys are back at Jason and Brandy's house.
Okay.
And Jason is literally sitting right across the room from this guy.
Oh my God. He just looks up from his phone and these glares. Oh.
Who...
I'm
not going to be able to tell this without laughing.
Focus, Jody.
So, okay. Focus. Okay. I'm trying. Like, my eyes are watering up because it's so fucked up. But so Jason is sitting here watching this, okay? Well, then Joe is texting Brandy all the sex acts that he wants to perform on her. The Brandy's husband is right across from you, sir.
Oh my God.
And he's watching it. And Jason kept it together.
Holy shit.
Like did not
give this man a freaking award. Like that, no. Mm-mm.
Yes.
Come on.
So then, Brandy sends him a message. Joe, that is. Not her husband. She's texting Joe while she's hanging out with Joe's girlfriend. Okay? I just want you to remember that. Yes. Yeah. And she's like, check your Snapchat.
Oh. Okay?
So, and of course, again, Jason can see all this. So, Joe goes and looks. Apparently, this is I don't know if it was a picture or a video of Brandy in the stall at the movie theater fingering herself.
Okay.
The look on your face.
Okay. People on Spotify can't see my face. But
Jace, yes,
gross.
Go ahead.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, this is why this movie shouldn't have went to theaters. Like, think about the cleanup these people have to
Don't blame Channing Tatum for her shitty behavior.
Oh, true.
That's not his fault.
Love that movie, by the way. But, ew. Go back to the movie, ma'am.
It's not Matthew McConaughey's fault that she's cheating on her husband. How dare you blame him?
I mean...
Okay,
I blame them for her naughty behavior in the stall.
I don't. I think she's just a slut, but
she said it.
Yeah, I did. So Jason's seeing all this and is still keeping his shit together.
Holy shit, like, dude. No. No.
It gets better. So then they're texting and they're making arrangements on when they're going to have sex. And they decide the best time to do that would be Monday morning when Jason goes to work in Jason and Brandy's bed.
What pisses me off more is, like, this man literally is working my hands are on my cheeks up to my eyes because I just can't. This lady literally does not have to worry about working a job. It's stressful to be
so uncomfortable.
I can't. It's so stressful to be a full-time employee on top of being a mom, but you get the pleasure, which, I mean, it's still hard. Please don't take it as that. But you don't have to overload your plate with even more because your husband's doing it for you. And this is what you're doing? Come on.
Yes. Well,
no.
And again,
in his bed.
In his bed that he's paying for.
On his sheets.
So he is still holding it together.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I'm just, if that would have been Nathan or Ryan.
It wouldn't have gotten this far.
Oh, no. Ryan and Nathan would have ripped the guy's head off.
Yeah. I tell you right now, we wouldn't have went to dinner.
Yeah.
Or Ryan wouldn't have went to dinner.
No, Ryan would have been like, I will make him dinner. So, as if that's not enough, Brandy then texts Joe and says, I love you.
Oh,
to which Joe says, I love you too. Yes.
I feel like that's a stab in the stomach.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Jason, at this point, he says it took every single bit of him to not get up and deck that guy in the face.
Ooh.
Yes. So, Brandy returns home with Joe's girlfriend. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, we don't know that this guy's name's Joe. I'm just naming him Joe. But anywho, because it gets really confusing bringing all these people into this love triangle.
No, this is a square. It's a love square.
Yes. So Jason, calmly, he's very calm. He tells Brandy and Joe's girlfriend to have a seat on the couch, and then he says he's contemplating at this moment, do I bring it up now? Or do I wait till Monday and make her think I'm at work and come home and catch her in the act?
Oh,
that's his option. Babe. Going back and forth. Yeah. So he's like, hey, sit down. He goes upstairs. The kids are all in Tyler's room playing video games. And he's like, I need you all to stay up here for a little bit and just keep the door closed. And he comes downstairs and he looks right at Joe and Brandy and goes, so you two are in love, huh?
Bro, it would have been so good if you said he waited. Damn it.
I know. Well, he was contemplating it. Okay. He was contemplating it, but he did.
That was hard. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Yeah. It was. So Brandy immediately looks shocked because she knows that he knows. And apparently Joe's girlfriend's instinct was to immediately just start punching Joe repeatedly. So she's
I don't know what he just said,
but Joe on the couch. Yeah, which, but here's the thing. If that's her response and not what the hell is he talking about or what the fuck, that tells me that Joe's done this before.
Ooh, you think?
Yeah, well, you have to think about it. If you were put in that predicament, okay, not that Ryan would ever do that to you, but let's say if you were put in that predicament and you and Lucy had went out, I'm just going to use Lucy as an example because that's your BFF.
I'm telling her.
And like, I don't know. And they said that you wouldn't look at Ryan and be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Oh,
Wouldn't
absolutely.
That be your response?
Yeah.
But
like I
to me, if you don't have that type of response, that tells me that this isn't Joe's first time fucking around.
I get that. Okay. Do
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So she's just beating the shit out of Joe on the couch. To which Brandy looks at Jason and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, you and him have not been texting or anything? And she denies it. She's like,
of course.
No, we would never. So he pulls his phone out and he just shows the receipts. And he's like, here they are. I've been watching this all night long. Like,
yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And she just keeps, she's like, well, it was just a one-time thing. Yeah. And he's like, so you and him have never been intimate, to which she denies. And then he said, have you sent any provocative photos? And she denies. So then he showed the Snapchat picture.
Yeah. Oh, it was a picture.
Yes, or video, or I don't know if it was a picture or a video.
Okay.
But we do know that did happen. And of course, she just, they start arguing. Then, for some ungodly reason, Joe's girlfriend starts defending Brandy in the mix of all of this.
No.
Like,
no,
you can't make this shit up. Yes. Yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Like, what was her reasoning?
Well, she's just denying, and she says it was just a one-time thing, and that she would never do it again, and, just all this bullshit. And meanwhile, Joe and Joe's girlfriend are sitting there while these two are bickering back and forth. Like,
awkward.
I know, it's... So, okay. Jason then says he's going to leave Brandy. Like, he's like, I think it'd just be best if I remove myself completely out of this situation and we separate. To which Brandy says, if he does that, she will make sure that he never sees the kids ever again in front of Joe and Joe's girlfriend. Yeah. And that if he tries to fight her for custody, that she will make sure to bring up the fact that he attempted to kill himself when he was in high school to show that he is not mentally stable to be their primary caregiver. Now, I don't have any details about his mental health, back then or whatever, but that's fucked up.
That 100% that's fucked up. First of all, while we strike one, you're using the kids as pawns. Strike two, you're keeping them, you're making threats and keeping them away from their dad. And to me, if a dad is willing to be in a kid's life, I think it's important to let the dad be in their life. There's some that just don't even want to be in their kids' lives. But if you have that one that does, don't fuck it up for your kids.
Right. Well, and this is all of her fault to begin with.
Yeah.
But she turns it around and starts blaming Jason. It's Jason's fault she's having an affair.
You leave me alone and you ignore me. And...
Yes.
Yep.
How dare you work full time and me sit at home?
I'm just saying, so they're like, you gave in to those actions.
Absolutely.
I mean, that could be a simple conversation before it led to that.
Well, Joe's girlfriend, steps in and she says, we just all need to calm down.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Somebody punch her in the face.
Nobody's going to leave anybody. We're all going to stay with our spouses. I know. And it's, so evidently this woman is used to this type of behavior, but whatever. So they finally end up going back to their home, I guess. And of course, Brandy and Jason, I'm sure they argued quite a bit, but Jason ended up sleeping on the couch that night. Like, he's like, I don't really want to be around you right now. And I don't blame him. Like,
I mean, props to him for even sleeping on the couch. I don't know that I could have been under the same roof. I mean, because I'm one of those, I won't be cheated on. I will not, like, if we don't want each other, one of us needs to walk away. And if I am cheated on, there's no, no, I'm not the one to try to fix things.
Well, my thing is, and that's the thing, like, if you're not happy with me, just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to be brokenhearted and I'll be hurt, but I'll get through it because but I would rather my kids grow up in 2 separate households than one broken home.
There's a saying somebody told me and it resonates so well. I'd rather be from a broken home than live in one. But I will say I commend the people that can get past being having a spouse cheat on them and the acts, like, just if you can get past it, you can forgive them. Like, it's a lack of I don't even know the words I'm looking for. It's something with me. I just can't. I won't. But I think it takes even more cojones to get past it and overlook it and work on things. So if you have, you're stronger and better than me because I just won't. So I'm just saying, it's a downfall for me, personality wise.
Well, that night they had discussed, I guess, Jason proposed that he would stay at the house and that Brandy could take the kids and go stay, with her mom while he's figuring things out, whatever. But he did sleep on the couch that night. And the infamous Monday, the sex Monday comes, the day that Brandy was originally planning, right?
Ruin that.
And she texts Jason. He's at work. And she texts him and tells him that he needs to leave work and come and explain things to Tyler, that Tyler's having a hard time understanding what Brandy's trying to tell him. So, because Brandy supposedly is explaining to Tyler that mommy and daddy are separating, okay? So he does. He leaves his job. He's like, I got family problems going on that I need to go home and take care of. And
why would she do that without him being, like, at least acknowledging, hey, I'm not saying you have to be together, but hey, I'm going to talk to him about it.
Well, this is why. This is what's her motive.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of
There's a motive. No, you're good. So Jason comes home to find Tyler freaking sobbing. Okay. And this is because Brandy told Tyler that daddy is upset with her. So daddy says that she can't live at home, that she has to take the kids to go live with her mother. Okay. The way that this 7-year-old, you got to think about this, interprets this is if daddy is mad at mommy and makes her leave, he's then mad at me because he's made me leave too. That's his interpretation.
I can see that.
Which is valid. He's a child. His brain isn't even completely developed, okay? And, of course, Charlie is seeing her big brother upset. She's 3 years old. She has no earthly idea what's going on, okay? And it upsets her because big brother's upset. So she's crying too.
Oh.
So, yes. So, of course, in this moment, Jason realizes this is not going to be an easy separation because she is going to manipulate them to believe whatever that she can to have the winning hand. And he doesn't want his kids to be upset, right? So at this point, he's like, she has the upper hand. Even though he didn't do anything wrong.
I know, it's shitty.
Like, it's shitty. So he decides the best thing that he could do is just grin and bear it and stay in this marriage. Even though
it just sucks that he felt that way. She's the adulteress and it just sucks. He's the breadwinner. He's the loyal one. He's that's so shitty. So now he feels stuck.
So he tells her that fine, They'll figure it out. They'll make it work. But that's not good enough for her. She wants him to beg for her back. I know. She's
a fucking monster, dude. Like,
she is. And he does. That's the fucked up part. He does. He does. And at this point, I'm sure people's like, why is this called the Reddit murders? Don't worry, we're getting there. But
I'm disgusted at her behavior. Like,
she does. He does, and she agrees, but there's conditions. She's going to put conditions down. Yes. He has to apologize to Joe.
Wow, the fucking audacity of this woman. Yes. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has to apologize to Joe. Because that's Jason's fault that scene happened. He caused that scene. Yes, and he did. This man apologized.
I literally
for his children.
This is absurd. I know.
Yes, to Joe for the scene that he supposedly caused. Okay. Yeah. Now, of course, Jason and Brandy never spoke of that affair after that. Okay.
Did it continue?
And it's not because Jason didn't think about it. Of course, he's like, Jason, after this, like, he's not happy at all. And that's all he can think about.
Because now you're not in the marriage for the right reasons. See, that's what I don't. There's no love there. And that's why that statement resonates. Because at that point, you lose true affection. You lose true feelings. You lose a true connection that your kids deserve to see. So your kids are losing out. It really sucks.
Well, right. You're not in it for the right reasons at all. In his mind, though, I'm going to defend Jason. In his mind, I can't imagine being put into that predicament. Mm-hmm. You know, again, I say it all the time, like, with trauma, we can say that we know how we're going to react. You can sit there and say that all day long. We don't know how you're going to react. I'm sorry. People are really quick to say, well, I would have just ran, or I would do this. I'm sure in your mind, when you're thinking about it, you would. But the brain, when you go into fight or flight mode, that's different. Okay.
Leave and risk losing my kids altogether or staying. But I mean, ultimately, I feel like he's staying for his kids. So I do commend him for that. He's putting up not being
He's
happy.
A dedicated dad.
Yeah.
He's absolutely a dedicated dad. So, of course, Brandy doesn't talk anything about it because, you know, Brandy, and as you can see, I'm sure you all have put together, Brandy's quite a narcissist and she doesn't do anything wrong, right? And she's just living her best life and she's happy. And she's content, and
glad she is.
And guess what? Eventually, they start hanging out with Joe and Joe's girlfriend again.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that I know. And
I can stay in this marriage, but you will not have me like, let's go out to dinner. Let's be best friends. Like,
yeah, they're hanging out with them all over again, and Jason's just not happy. An entire year passes.
Oh, wow.
A whole year passes. We're back on Father's Day. He still doesn't have his he should. Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah, he doesn't have the he should. He catches Brandy sending another nude photo to Joe.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So the software's still on her phone.
I don't know if the software's still there or if he just happened to catch her.
Okay.
I'm not sure how, but needless to say, he caught her and he confronted her about it. And of course, she said that she didn't mean to, that was an accident. She meant to send that to him. Of course, he doesn't believe her.
You guys are in a loveless marriage and you were sending him nudes. Cool.
Yes.
Believable.
He didn't believe her.
Believable.
And he accepts it, and he's just like, this is my life. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. He's not sleeping. It's affecting his work. Like, his job performance is slacking. I don't know if he got wrote up or anything at his job. I just know that he talks about how this was obviously taking a huge toll on his mental well-being. He wants a divorce. He wants out. Yeah. He's not happy, and he knows that that's the best option. So the kicker to this is he never talked to any family or friends about it because he was embarrassed. like, and I'm sure he didn't want to drag family into marital problems.
Yeah.
And that, that's how I am. Like, if me and Nathan have a bickerment, I don't want to go talk to my mom about that because I don't want my mom's perception to change of her son-in-law. I don't want him going and telling his mom things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key rule. I'm sure you and Ryan are the same. You don't go and bitch about things that Ryan does that pisses you off to your mom, and he doesn't vice versa. And that's what it should be. You shouldn't bring family into it. But he didn't tell his friends either because he was like super embarrassed.
You would think she seems so infatuated with Joe that she would just be like, no, you know what? I do want a divorce because even though you're happy, you're not fully happy because you're not fully committed to Joe. Why would you not want to be? You know?
I don't know.
Give him his divorce so I can fully be with Joe.
I guess, but probably because Jason's making really good money, and that's her meal ticket. That's the way I feel about it.
Joe doesn't make good money?
I don't know. I don't know if Joe's making as good money as Jason is, but yeah. So October of 2016, okay, Jason is mentally miserable. He turns to Reddit.
Oh.
Yes,
okay.
this is, I love it. You're like,
I didn't know that it was tied. Okay.
Yes, so when he goes to Reddit, most people are familiar with Reddit. It's kind of a form of social media.
It's like a blog.
I guess you could call it like a blog kind of thing. His screen name was Jason in Hell because that's how he felt. Like he's legit in hell. Yes, okay. Yeah. And he makes a post basically saying that he's having a hard time coping with his wife having an affair with their neighbor. And he lists basically a summary of everything that we just talked about.
Oh, no.
He talked about confronting his wife. Yeah, he did. He put it out there. I don't know that he didn't really put names. He just explained that the 51-year-old neighbor, my wife, having an affair.
Go get you some elsewhere.
I put software. Point, yeah. Like he put it out there, okay? Yeah. What he didn't know is that this would go viral. And
shit.
Yes, it did. It went viral. I don't know that Brandy knew that he had went on Reddit. I don't think she really would have fucking cared, honestly. But anywho, it did. It drew a lot of attention, and people were commenting. And some of these comments were helpful. Some of them were judgmental, and some of them were just downright. There was no reason for people to say that at all. Because, again, we don't know how people are. You just don't know how you're going to respond until you're in that situation yourself. But of course, some people were like, I can't believe you've been tolerating this as long as you have. You need to get out of this. Like, you're not happy. You deserve better. Some people was calling him stupid for putting up with it as long as he was. Like, I get it.
He is, but he's not.
We don't know.
Yeah, your kids. So, I mean, and honestly, number one, your kids.
So, November the 1st, Jason makes a second post on Reddit, okay, that basically said that he's taking their advice, and instead of trying to fix something that she has no desire to fix, he's going to move on with his life, and he's made an appointment with an attorney, and he's going to go for divorce, okay? And he was thanking everybody for, like, their kind words, because honestly, he was carrying a lot, like, internally. He needed to get it out there. Like, he needed somebody to vent to. So Reddit it was. So Jason did indeed file for divorce. And he got everything that he needed done in order. And on November the 15th, 2016, he presented Brandy with divorce papers.
Woo!
Yes.
You go, Jason.
So November the 16th, the day after Brandy gets her divorce papers, okay? Which, fun fact, November 16th is my mom's birthday and my husband's birthday. But anywho, it's a normal day, okay? It's just a normal day. Jason goes to work. And it seemed that Brandy was taking this divorce very well. Which is odd. Yes. Now, apparently Charlie had dance practice at 3:00 that day, to which her and Jason took Charlie together. Not, they just went and did like a co-parenting thing, They ate dinner. Tyler apparently was working on like an arts and crafts kind of project thing. And Brandy said that she needed to go to Walmart to get more things for his arts and crafts project, whatever. So Jason stayed home with the kids. He's watching them. He gets them ready for bed. He plays some games. Just all, just a normal day. And Brandy comes home from Walmart, except she didn't come home with arts and crafts. Brandy bought a knife.
There wasn't one in her house?
Well, she came home with like a hunting knife of some kind.
Oh, okay.
And she took that knife and she hid it in her son's bedroom. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, trigger warning. Okay, this is a big trigger warning that people may want to fast forward because unfortunately, we are about to deal with child murder. Yeah, I know. The look on your face. So they get the kids tucked into bed. Jason tells his kids that good night, I love you, I will see you in the morning. Okay, not knowing that this will be the last thing that he ever said to his children while they were alive. Ugh, okay. I know. So after Jason goes to bed, Brandy, for some ungodly reason, I don't know why she did this. I kind of have a theory, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. She took a shit ton of Benadryl, and all that did was make her super fucking groggy and sluggish, as if she wasn't fucking sluggish enough. Oh my. But she takes a ton of Benadryl. At 4 a.m., she decides that she's going to go into Tyler's bedroom, woke her 7-year-old son up, and asked him if he wanted to go for a sleepover in Charlie's room. Okay. And he's kind of confused. He's waking up, but he goes with it. She gets the knife. They go into Charlie's room. Okay. Again, trigger warning. She immediately, once that door closed, she attacked her son and stabbed him repeatedly. Charlie woke up, wanted to know what was going on, and she tells her, oh, it's fine. Go back to sleep. So this 3-year-old little girl rolls over, goes back to sleep. When she finishes with Tyler, she then goes to Charlie and does that to Charlie repeatedly. She then takes both the children, lays them in the floor, and covers them up with a blanket. And then she stabbed herself in the neck. Sadly, she missed the wrong artery. And she didn't kill herself. She claims that she was going to kill herself, okay?
I see what she's doing.
Because she says that she was going to kill her children and then kill herself, right? Yeah. So she goes downstairs and calls her mom and tells her mom everything that she just did.
Oh, shit.
And her mom is like, you need to hang up with me and call 911. Now, listen, you can listen to the 911 call online, and it's so disturbing. And I get that she took a shit ton of Benadryl, okay? But she is so monotone. There is no emotion. There is no remorse. And she says, this is how this call goes. She said, I just stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children. Just monotone, like that's something that you would say on a regular basis. And dispatch says, what made you do this? And she said, because my husband says he wants to leave and I don't want him to take my children, so now he can't take them. Mm-hmm. So during this 911 call, Brandy's mom shows up to the house, obviously. I mean, as anyone would. And she runs in. Dispatch hears her. And she apparently told dispatch, like, I took a lot of Benadryl, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of groggy, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, well, can we talk to your mother? So the mother gets on the phone and dispatch says, I need you to go to wherever the children's room is and check on them. So she does. And she immediately, when she sees what she sees, lets out a heart gut-wrenching scream.
I couldn't even
imagine.
And
you can hear this on the 911 phone call. Mind you, Jason's asleep. This scream wakes him up. He has no idea what is happening.
Oh God! All this is happening. He's still sleeping.
He was asleep.
Wow. Okay.
So he wakes up. And of course, he hears the scream. So he runs, and that's the first thing he sees is his kids in the floor, you know. So of course he's like absolutely baffled. He runs back downstairs to find Brandy to figure out what the hell has happened. Okay. Yeah. And Brandy says to Jason, and this is a direct quote, "Now you can't take my kids from me." Yeah. So
I mean, you took them from yourself. You can't have them either.
And so Brandy was taken to the hospital for her wound, okay? And in her mugshot, you can see like this little piece of plastic. Like she went right here. Like so she didn't have any.
If she wanted to kill herself, she would have.
She would have just killed herself. Yeah. She had no ambition. That was such an attention mechanism to a T. Like, I don't feel sorry for you.
That's like, oh God, that one stab didn't work.
She didn't miss.
Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was taken to the hospital. She, of course, was then immediately arrested and charged for 2 counts of first-degree murder. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
She has not showed 1 ounce of remorse at all for anything. She's not apologized for anything that she has done. And the case, of course, broke media. And that's why this is called the Reddit murders, because people were quick to tie, holy fuck, this guy had came on the internet looking for help. And this is what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, remember I told you that Brandy's parents are assholes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're going to talk about what assholes that they are, because while all of this is going on, okay, they decide that they're going to treat Jason like shit. Their daughter just killed their grandchildren, but let's blame Jason because he hasn't been through enough. Yeah. Like, you know, so the home that they lived in, they rented. It was Brandy's parents' home. When all of this was going on, they locked him out and changed the locks.
Oh, fuck.
He had to go through legal proceedings just to get his property out.
That's disgusting.
And then, yeah. They also would harass him every single time he would go to their tombstones, his children, where they were buried, okay? They would follow him in a truck and just stare at him the entire time that he was there, just trying to find peace with what had happened.
Well, we're seeing that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then, as if that's not enough, her parents made a GoFundMe with a picture of Jason. It doesn't even have Brandy in it. It has Jason's picture and the children trying to raise money for Brandy's legal fees.
Wow.
So one of Jason's co-workers made a whole separate GoFundMe because Jason's the real victim in all of this.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he probably needs therapy. He probably, you know, funeral costs. The fact that he had to go pay to get his shit out of his own fucking home because your cunt daughter decided that she wasn't happy and she wanted to bring her misery on everybody around her. You made him go through a court proceeding to get his belongings, but yet you want to get her legal fees taken care of? She killed your grandchildren.
Yeah, that's
a whole different level of evil. She makes Susan Smith look like a saint.
Oh, absolutely. And what's disgusting is that if it wasn't her way, it was nobody's way. Like, he won't be married to me. Why I sleep around and cheat on him with his people, then everybody's going to pay.
So he gets, like, apparently that GoFundMe that Jason's coworker opened up for him made $50,000. So I'm happy about that. Yeah. I don't know the amount of money that Brandy's twat waffle fucking parents tried to raise or if anybody contributed to it. I hope they
shut it down.
But I feel like, well, I hope so. And I feel like, unfortunately, they have a lot of insight, okay, to get money. They know what their daughter did was wrong. They know that enough that they're using clickbait and using his face and 2 deceased children as a photo to get people to do that. That's the thing. Like, if you wanted a GoFundMe for her, fine, make one. We're probably going to make fun of you for it, but go ahead, make one. But use her picture. Yeah. Don't use his. Don't use the victims.
You know, it's manipulating. Honestly.
Cut her mugshot with her piece of plastic over her superficial fucking wound. Use that one.
It's they did it on purpose. It's literally like, oh, that's that family. Oh, I feel so bad. Instead of reading, because let's be honest, most of us skim anymore. So they're like, oh, this has got to be for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
they took advantage.
Exactly, and I would be really quick to think that and say, "Oh my God, that's that picture." But yeah, so I don't know whatever happened with that GoFundMe, but I did want to reiterate that's the type of people that they are. Okay, so a whole year later, Jason ends up getting legally divorced from her. Yay!
A whole year,
as he should.
Good Lord, yes.
It took a whole year, and she has court, and this dumb twat. Okay, thought that she was going to plead not guilty, even though there's a whole 911 call with your fucking confession. And then, as if that's not enough, she thinks that she's going to get not guilty, reason by insanity, which is my area of expertise, because she wasn't in her right mind. She took Benadryl, Ashley.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's not how that works, okay? That's not how that works. If anything, you sealed the deal when you went to Walmart and bought a knife and you took it and planted it in your son's room. We call that premeditated.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not how that works. So
before the Benadryl.
She did not get NGRI. Yes, before I really, truly think... and that's why I'm like, she didn't do that as a means to actually kill herself. She had no desire to kill herself.
No.
She thought she really was that ignorant and that narcissistic to think, if I take the Benadryl, it alters my mind state. Therefore, I can get the crazy card. No, ma'am, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. I hate to bust your fucking bubble, but yeah. So she didn't get NGRI, okay? And she didn't get obviously she was found guilty, and she has been sentenced to 170 years behind bars. So she will die there.
Bravo.
With her little superficial wound. And yeah, she didn't get Joe. She didn't get Jason. She can find her a prison bitch and live there.
To be truthfully honest.
And that's her happily ever after.
I'm irritated that she couldn't get the death penalty because, like,
I don't know if Indiana is a capital punishment state. But again, you know, you look at people like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, and yes, they're evil people. We can acknowledge that.
Yeah.
It takes a different type of level of evil to kill your own children.
Children in general, but let alone your own kids.
Your own children. And for your 3-year-old daughter to wake up, who has no insight that things like this in the world exist, and you tell her to go back to sleep that everything's fine. That's a whole, like, that's what gets me is you're their mother. You're supposed to be their safe haven. And all because you didn't want him to leave? When you're the one that pushed him to that to begin with.
Yeah. I hope she's getting her ass beaten in prison. I really do.
Every day. I hope that you choke on your toast because they burn it in gel. And I hope that you can't, like, I hope your milk is sour. And I hope that your eyes are always itchy and irritated.
And your toilet stays clogged for the rest of your time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope that your roommate snores super loud all the time.
You're a monster.
You're a monster. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So that's the story of the Reddit murders, and that's why it's called that. Now, the original Reddit post has been removed, but you
Ah.
can pull. Yeah, I think that given the circumstances and the nature of the case, Reddit ended up removing it. But you can go online, guys, and you can kind of pull up a little bit of it. There now, Jason has been on documentaries and stuff. I couldn't confirm, but I can't deny if he's been remarried. I think he's kind of tried to stay out of the public eye, really.
Oh,
but
for
he
sure.
has agreed to do interviews and stuff, you know. And I would imagine that. Well, I don't want to. I can't imagine that. I'm sorry. I got to rephrase that. I can't imagine what he's gone through. Because I feel like even though he knows he did the right thing, I don't think that he did anything wrong. I think that he probably feels guilt.
Yeah.
And probably blames himself.
Of course. Of course. I hope Joe blames himself too. Whatever your real name is. I don't know what happened
to... Yeah, whatever your real name is, you fucking coward. You're just as responsible. Do you have questions for the girls?
I do have a few. I do.
I do too. All right, here we go. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, girls. Can we ask you questions about the Brandy Worley case? The Reddit murders, you know what is that? You know what Reddit is? I don't. We don't know what that is.
I did. It's fine.
It's fine. We're gonna wing it. Okay. What do you want to ask?
What do they think of?
Yeah. What?
Brandy. Oh, whispers.
Yeah. What do you think of Brandy? Yeah. I heard weird. I swear that sounded like Satan's mistress.
Oh my god. I wouldn't say weird. Okay. I want to know, is Jason, at least, obviously he's never going to be fully happy because his babies aren't there, but is he moved on? Is he happy?
Yeah. Has Jason moved on with life? Is he happy? We hope so.
Oh, me too.
So I just want to know, okay, we're just going to cut straight to the case. Was Brandy actually going to try to kill herself? No answer. Did you hear that?
I heard answer. I didn't know what it said beforehand.
I heard no answer.
That's crazy. They plead the fifth.
Like, no answer. They plead the fifth.
Because they know she's full of shit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Do you think she's full of shit? Probably.
Does her neighbor, girlfriend, or I mean either one of them, do they hold any guilt for what happened?
Yeah. So does the neighbor and neighbor's girlfriend feel any guilt for what happened? No. And then I heard yes. I bet the girlfriend does, but Joe doesn't.
Could be.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is she getting what she deserves in prison?
Yeah, she getting what she deserves in prison. I heard yes, and I believe so.
I hope so. I really do.
No, and then somebody else said no.
Did her parents really try to, what's the word, exploit this situation?
Yeah. Did her parents really try to exploit the situation? Yeah. Her post. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
really
yeah.
Clear.
Yeah. Did they get very far exploiting it?
Oh no, I don't think they got very far at all. Do they still blame Jason?
Ooh, good question.
I heard no.
Yeah, really loud.
I get being angry, but
Yeah. Does Jason feel any guilt, even though he shouldn't?
Yeah. Does Jason feel guilt, even though he shouldn't? Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that's sad. That's super sad. I don't think I have anything else. It was pretty...
Yeah. Oof. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Ugh. Well, this was a good one. I hated how it ended, but the love square was fantastic. And I love it. Yeah.
I know, but I hate it for Tyler.
Yeah.
And Charlie, because they were totally an innocent bystander.
Sweet baby angels, just because their mom was freaking cuckoo. But
yeah. She's just, their mom, again, makes Susan Smith look like a saint.
Oh, absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just gross. But
yes.
Yeah.
But that was the Reddit murders. All right, Ash, what do they need to do?
You need to, well, you don't need to, but we would like you to find us on most social media platforms. Give us a like. No,
you need to.
You need to. Give us a like, give us a follow. Check us out every week on YouTube and Spotify for new episodes. If there's not going to be an episode, we will let you know on our Facebook.
Yes. All right. Bye, doll babies.
Bye.